Hello everyone and welcome back to more Going Local here with, yes, still Celtic. I don't want to say unfortunately because I don't dislike being in charge of Celtic, but well, unfortunately in the sense that, yes, last time we did fail to win the Scottish Cup, which means we are still, for the purposes of the challenge, needing to stay in Scotland. Now, as said last time, I have gone quite a long way into the season already. We're in October because we don't need to dwell on the league campaign. Doesn't matter at all as far as we're concerned. We've already won it. That's already been ticked off. We will, of course, try and win it again. That will certainly help our reputation, but it's not the focus. The focus this season are on the two things that we can still win with Celtic that we still need, namely the Scottish Cup and then whatever European exploits we get up to. We will come on to those in a minute. Obviously, it's frustrating, but we're going to have seasons like this during the save. If it was by design, then we would have won the final, but we didn't. So we have to just sort of deal with that. That's just how it goes sometimes. You don't win everything, and that's going to be something we're going to have to deal with throughout the course of the save. But without further ado then, what have we been up to? How have things been going, and who have we brought in? The transfers, that's the most important part. How have they gone? Let's get into it. So a few departures of some of the fringe players who were out on loan last season, but the most notable names who have gone: Scott Brown, club captain, has left Celtic after a very long association. He's gone to Metz for £825,000. He was just sort of too slow for my needs. Albion Ajeti has also gone to Fortuna Dusseldorf. He was pretty terrible last season when he did play and wanted to leave. So we've actually made a slight loss on him, but 5 goals in Bundesliga 2 already. But yeah, good for him. And then the big one, Odsonne Edouard has been sold to Bournemouth for £25 million. We probably didn't need to sell him from a financial perspective, but he wanted to leave. He only had 1 year left on his contract, so it would either be sell him in the summer or lose him for free. He didn't want to sign a new one. In the interest of the club, therefore, which is something we need to consider as we go throughout the save. We don't want to be, completely destroying the team we're at. We have let him go. He's already got 4 goals in the Premier League. Obviously, he scored 24 goals last season in the league, more overall. He had a good season. It wasn't an amazing season, though. He did miss a lot of chances. There were a lot of games where he didn't do very well. He missed 5 penalties, which is pretty appalling for a guy who's apparently got 15 penalty taking. So, yeah, happy to let him go, all things considered. So who have we signed to compensate? Well, we've had to get quite a lot of players in because obviously a lot of the players that we had were on loan. We haven't re-signed any of them. We have used both wildcards, though. We'll come on to those at the end. But the bulk of the transfers, of course, following the rules, have been Scottish players. John Souttar, we already knew about, was being brought in to replace Shane Duffy for 1.5 million from Hearts, and he's done his Achilles tendon. That's why I didn't sign him at the start of the save. He's done his Achilles tendon, out for 4 months. So, there he is. You're probably not going to see him. Also signing, really to replace Albion Ajeti, he's a sort of third choice striker, is Lawrence Shankland. 1 goal in 2 caps for Scotland already. I don't think he's going to be adding to that, given how little he's going to be playing this season. Lots of nice things. Some very nice attributes for a striker, namely 17 finishing and 16 composure. I like that. Could be a bit quicker, but yeah, he's probably not going to play all that much. Hasn't played so far this season. 1.5 million from Dundee United. 11 goals last season. Yeah, not bad. Another squad option, really. Lewis Morgan has rejoined the club. He was sold by Celtic quite recently in real life to Inter Miami, but we've got him back for £2 million. He's pretty average. Some nice attributes for a winger. Can kind of play on both flanks, which is why we need him. Sort of the replacement for Mohamed El Yunusi. And then someone who will definitely be a big part of the first team this season, Ryan Fredericks, has been snapped up from West Ham United for a pretty low fee. £1.4 million, has already played and done exceptionally well. His physical attributes make him sort of tailor-made for this kind of position. Good attacking attributes from a wing-back position, and defensively he's not too bad either. I don't think he is Scottish in real life. I think he's still English. He hasn't declared for Scotland, but he has in the game, which is good enough for me. So welcome, Ryan. He's doing well so far. And then we have also signed Stevie Mallon, who is the player who I wanted to sign in January instead of Greg Kilty as the replacement for Tom Rogic. He is ready-made for that. That's what he's going to be doing. We couldn't sign him then because he was on loan in Turkey, but we can sign him now from Hibernian for £2 million, and this may well turn out to be one of the best transfers of the entire save, one of the bargains of the entire save. You can see his rating there. We've played 9 matches so far. He's got an 8.2, 11 assists already. we've got him in because he's extremely well-rounded, and his 18 free kicks will do very nicely with some of our defensive heading options. He has done exceptionally well so far and has already usurped Callum McGregor in the starting lineup. But what about the wildcards? Well, as said, we've used both of them, and in probably one of the least surprising moments of the entire save, we have signed Adam Eder on loan from Norwich City, activating the former player's wildcard. I mean, this is the first club, so I'm bringing in a player from the Norwich save, and the star of the Norwich save, really. This man here, he is absolutely brilliant. If you can sign him on the game, sign him on the game. He is incredibly dependable as a striker, young Irish striker, breaking through at Norwich. Got a bit of an injury at the moment, so he's missed out on a lot of this season in real life, but well, in the game, he's pretty good. We are paying a little bit of a fee for him. That was basically just to get rid of the recall option, so they can't bring him back in January, and that's good because he's doing exceptionally well. 10 goals in 8 games so far in the league, 14 overall. Yeah, he's good. And then the other wild card has been used on this man. Rodrigo has joined us on loan from Real Madrid for this season. I wasn't intending on using it. I was intending on saving it till January, but basically James Forrest got injured quite early on in the season and he's going to be out for a while. So I wanted to bring somebody else in, someone of sort of better quality on the wings. And this was the opportunity that presented itself to us. The Brazilian youngster, wonder kid. He is ridiculous. His attributes are already amazing. I mean, on paper, he should be doing absolute bits in the Scottish Premiership. He's been okay. He's not done amazingly, not actually scored in the league. He's scored 2 goals in Europe, which we'll get to in a second, but I'm hoping as he gets more used to the surroundings, obviously very different, Glasgow to Madrid really, isn't it? But very different from Brazil as well, but hopefully he will adjust and do okay. I'm just happy we've got him in. Of course, it does mean if we do have to stay for a third season, which I sincerely hope we don't, as much as I do like being here, we can't sign any more wildcards. Both of them have now been used. As they're both loan signings, I might say we can renew them if need be, because that's essentially just extending a contract, isn't it? But we'll cross that bridge if we come to it, and hopefully we won't need to. So how have those new signings helped us out? Well, as you can see, exceptionally well. It's been a very, very strong start to the season. We began with a 6-0 win against Motherwell. Adam Eder got 2 goals on his debut, which is always a nice thing to see. We made it through the Champions League third qualification round. We've been bumped through the rounds, I guess, because Euro Cup 2 is now a thing, so they just sort of moved it around a bit, obviously. We made it past Ferencvaros into the playoff, and then in the playoff, we did beat Partizan Belgrade. Great win in the first leg, 5-1. We lost the second leg, but we made it through to the Champions League group stage, which is not too bad. Other league results are 5-0 against Kilmarnock, a 3-0 against Hearts in the League Cup. We then beat Ross County 3-1. We beat Hearts 3-0 again in the league. Dundee was a 3-0 win as well. Not quite as many 4s and 5s as last year, but 3 is very solid. We'll come back to that game. A 2-0 against St Johnstone. We beat Rangers in the League Cup quarter-final, so we might well win that. Not that we need it, it's the other cup that we need. A 3-1 against Aberdeen, a 3-0 against Livingston, and then a 3-1 against Hibernian. We love scoring 3 goals so far this season. That's gone really very well. Here's the table. Maximum points after 9 games, 27 on the board. Rangers have dropped 2 points. They drew with Ross County, but otherwise they are hot on our heels. The first Old Firm of the season is coming up, but we're not particularly fussed about the league. Obviously we will try and win it, and I think winning it will help us. I mean, obviously we haven't been able to leave, but I do think that even if we had, we probably wouldn't have been able to get a particularly good job to go to. So maybe actually it's better that we haven't. So in a year's time, if we can get the cup ticked off, then our reputation will be higher, hopefully with another league win as well, and we're more likely to get a better job somewhere else. But what about Europe? Because that is still something we can contend for. I don't think we're going to win the Champions League with Celtic, but well, you never know. Once the group was drawn, I assumed, well, third place at best. We've got Man City and we've got Bayern Munich. I didn't think we were going to do very well, but as you can see, we did beat Bayern Munich in our opening game. It was a wonderful performance. Rodrigo with 2 goals. I thought, yeah, this is going to be brilliant. He's not scored since. He hasn't scored in the league, but he scored 2 against Bayern Munich. Adam Eder on the score sheet as well. Brilliant performance there. We then got pretty comprehensively beaten by Manchester City 3-1. So we're not going to be winning the group, I don't think. But we are going to be playing today our game against Lokomotiv Moscow, the first game against Lokomotiv Moscow, because basically if we can beat them, then we should at least wrap up third place, which would probably be better for our prospects because we're not going to win the Champions League. So there's no point getting through to the knockouts particularly there. But we could maybe win the Europa League. I reckon we've got a chance at the Europa League. So I want to finish in third place if we can. So that is the plan for today. We will be playing Lokomotiv Moscow and we may well play the Rangers game too, but I don't know, it depends. Depends how long the episode is taking. And then my plan, fingers crossed, for the week is basically to wrap up the season in 1 week so we get a new club next week. Obviously the focus will be on Europe and then the Scottish Cup. The Scottish Cup is, well, the first round we're playing in is not until January, so we've got a little bit of a way to go to get to that. Well, we're going to the fourth round. I'm pretty sure last year we were in the third round. Yeah, we were. So we get to skip a whole round. That's quite good. I'm not sure why that's happened, but I'm okay with it. But looking at the calendar, we should be able to get it done in about 6 episodes. We'll see. That's assuming we even get to the final, which we might not do. If we get Rangers in the fourth round, then, well, we could end up getting knocked out. And of course, if we get into some sort of European knockouts, that could change things as well. But anyway, Lokomotiv Moscow, first of all, let's see if we can do this. I mean, the win against Bayern was a surprise. If we get a good result today, then yeah, we should at least hopefully get third place. Get into the Europa League knockouts, we have some kind of chance of at least doing well in them. But here is how we've been lining up for most of the season so far. 2 other players of note who've come back from loan spells who we're now able to use. Oliver Ncham, not wanted by Marseille. Obviously wasn't wanted by Andre Villas-Boas, but whoever's in charge now didn't want him either. He has come back to us and I'm happy because he's very good and he can play all 3 midfield roles really nicely. And then replacing Laxalt as the backup left back, Bolingoli he's not very good. He can't tackle. I mean, he's very average. I wanted to bring a left back in. We did agree a deal for Joe Bryan from Fulham. He decided to go to Crystal Palace instead. So yeah, there's no one else of any worth whatsoever to get in at left back. So we'll stick with him. So Barkas, of course, keeps his place in goal. He's still pretty erratic sometimes, but overall quite a solid pair of hands. The defence is 3/4 the same. Taylor, Julian and Ayer, they are there. Fredericks comes in at right back though. We did have a lot of bids for Christopher Ayer, but we've managed to persuade him to stay. And Cham comes in anchoring the midfield with Ferguson and Stevie Mallon, who has usurped Callum McGregor, who got a bit of an injury at the start of the season and it's cost him his place in the team because Mallon is really good. Rodrigo's on the left hand side, which is still quite ridiculous. Ryan Christie on the right hand side, not quite as good as last season so far. I think that's mostly because Mallon's been taking all the free kicks and corners. Again, a lot of bids for him. Man United were in for him, Bayern Munich in for him again, but we managed to persuade him to stay as well. And then up front, the main man, Adamida, he's really good. Plenty of familiar faces in this Lokomotiv Moscow team. I mean, not least the 3 absolute veterans. Akinfeev in goal still. Chorluka must be about 50. Zhirkov must be about 55. Krychowiak's got to be getting up there as well. And Smolov up front as well. I think we should be winning this one, to be honest. I mean, we're in some really good form. We've beaten Bayern Munich, for goodness sake. This should be 3 points. Corner early on from Mallon, and Julien is close to doing what he did so often last season. Not quite as prolific as last season, but he's still doing well. He's still our second highest scorer. Obviously, though, the goals have been flowing. We've been free scoring. It's been brilliant. We've dominated every game we've played, and I've started recording, and we've had one highlight, and it was a corner that we didn't score. There's something else happening, but it's Lokomotiv. We slagged them off for being old, and Troy Lucas giving the ball away. Hopefully, we can show them up sufficiently. Rodrigo, the youngest man on the pitch, goes to the strike, and Akinfeev, I mean, the power on that was fantastic. Akinfeev palms it away though, showing his experience there. Stevie Mallon with another corner. Can he find Julien? It's bouncing, it's cleared. It's not his best effort. His corners are good. They're not as good as his free kicks. 18 free kick taking is pretty good. Well, we've had the best opportunities, not seen anything from Lokomotiv, but we are not winning the game. I mean, I'm not pleased with your performance. I'm going to go with that, which is maybe a bit harsh, but I want to see more from them. We need to be winning this game, really, if we want to get in the Europa League. Playing out from the back, Mallon on the ball. Rodrigo, space for him to run into. He's only scored in Europe so far this season. Can he do it again today? Stretching his legs. Can he find the cross in? He does. Ida's there, and he's not far away. Adamida is, he's in fantastic goal-scoring form. We want to see some more of that today. I mean, change is probably needed because, I mean, we're being sort of curtailed and stifled by the Russian side here. Can we work a chance, though? Mallon picks the ball up brilliantly. It was a lovely crossfield pass. Rodrigo looking to ping it back in, but it's been cleared. Ryan Fredericks to the loose ball. Recycles possession in Cham. A bit more creative than Campbell and Sorrow were in that position. Taylor slips it into Rodrigo, down by the line, holds it up well, back to Taylor. There's plenty of options in the box if we can find them. Goes along the ground to Ryan Christie, and Ryan Christie is there to supply the finish. 5th of the season for him. Patient play, patient build up, but it's worth it in the end. Good control from Taylor, good choice from Taylor, going low, very sensible, and Christie gets ahead of his marker and dispatches it past Akinfeev. Well, we mustn't let this slip. I've had to make some changes because people are getting a bit tired, and Barkas with a leaping save. That was destined for the top corner. Good reactions from the Greek, but that's some terrible distribution from him though, although Malin intercepts brilliantly well. Adamida is about to go off. He's still on the pitch for now. Karamako Dembele off the bench. It's another fierce effort, which again, like the one in the first half, Akinfeev palms away. Ida's now gone off. Lee Griffiths comes on. Have we got enough about us to see this one out? Final 5 minutes of injury time, and this would put us second in the group as things stand. Malin with the corner win. Julien is knocked back down. Malin swings it in. Julian's there, and Akinfeev palms it over. He's 35. He's still a very good goalkeeper. And is it going to be a final minute equaliser? No. Barkas just about sprawls himself in front of the effort, and that is the end of things. And we've held on for a very good 1-0 win away in Russia. Never an easy place to travel to mid-week. I am pretty happy with that. So yeah, we do go second because Man City beat Bayern Munich. However, I don't expect we'll get anything against City in the second game or against Bayern in the second game. So yeah, I think third is probably still the most likely outcome for us. And there we are then. We could play Rangers as well, but I don't want to. I'm sick of playing Rangers. We're probably going to have to play them at some point in the Scottish Cup. So yay. Hopefully not though. Hopefully they get knocked out. That'll be really good. But anyway, we will be back next time. I think the most logical thing to aim for is the start of December, because we're in the semi-finals of the Betfred Cup, the League Cup against St Johnstone. If we win the final, I believe, this might change, but I think it slots in very nicely ahead of the Manchester City game, our final Champions League group stage match. So that makes sense if we get there. That does make sense. If not, it will probably just be the City game and a league game. I don't know. We'll see. And then after that, it'll be the Scottish Cup that guides us. The 4th round is on the 15th of January. Hopefully, we can make it through there. And then, any sort of European knockouts, if we do get into them, will be something we will cover as well. But the focus, as said, is the Scottish Cup. That is what we want to win. Then we can finally start to leave. I will put up this picture as well. I'm going to put it on Twitter too. These are all the jobs which became available at the end of the season. So there's some good ones in there. Again, I don't think we would have probably got them, but would have been nice if we'd had the chance. But that's the nature of the challenge. That's what makes it so, challenging. But anyway, that is going to be that for today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. And I will see you next time.